I'm the Reverend Jane Gober, and I am the rector here at Christ Church, and we're going to walk through what participating in in-person communion is going to look like for the foreseeable future with our reservation-based system. So you'll come to Christ Church. We hope you already have a mask and you'll bring that along. We really encourage the mask wearing as much as possible. Good science is showing us that it can help. When you get here in your household group, you're going to stand at the hearts that we have marked off. You'll notice that right now these are not hearts because our hearts are in final assembly phase, but we have some pinwheels for Pentecost, so that's just as appropriate. So in your household group, you'll wait here until it's your time to check in. So when it's time to check in, we'll have you come and wash your hands at a hand washing station. We have hand washing sinks that are on their way. They're in California and making their way back across the country, and hopefully they'll be here in time. Even if we don't have those sinks, we will have a hand washing station available for you to wash your hands with soap and water for a good 20 seconds before we enter. Imagine me drying my hands off. Then our volunteer will check you in here at the check-in table. We have masks available. We have cloth masks available for you to keep. We'll also have paper masks. If you have your own mask, please go ahead and bring that and wear that mask. And then you will pick up your bulletin and head on inside. Once you come inside, if your household has someone who's been an acolyte and you would like to help me add a little bit of the flavor of a normal service, I invite you to check in with me. I'll be available. And all I'll ask you to do is carry the cross up in your plain clothes, no alb, no gloves, none of that. Just at the beginning of the service, you'll lead the way for me to walk in. You'll take the cross up, you'll put it in its place, and then you'll go back and sit with your household. And then at the end of the service, just reverse that process as I make my way out. Everyone who's coming in, we will not be passing a plate. We did this in the last few weeks of service together back in March. The offering plate will be right here by the baptismal font, a connection with our baptismal vows, of course. So we encourage you to have your offering ready when you're walking in the door to put in the plate before you take your seat. We have blocked off some of the pews so that every third pew is open. You'll see the blue ribbon marking the pews where we don't want anyone to sit, but the pew that is wide open that I can go right in are the pews that are available. There are more than enough pews available for our guests to sit with our limited number of reservations. We ask that you take one of these seats. I know that some of your favorite seats are roped off right now, and I ask for your patience and love of God in dealing with that discomfort. I have my own favorite places in a sanctuary as well, but we're asking you to abide by the pews that we've marked off and choose one of the seats that are available. When it's time to come receive communion, we're going to have people follow a traffic pattern. We'll have people line up at these hearts at 6 feet apart in household groups here on the gospel side of the sanctuary. When it's time to receive communion, you'll be waiting in your household groups. I ask that anyone over the age of pretty much 7 come one at a time to receive communion or a blessing. A blessing will be done without hands-on. If you have a young person in your household who hasn't been receiving communion, I'd love to take the time to do some virtual preparation for them to encourage them to be practicing the sacrament of communion with the rest of the church. All baptized people are welcome to receive communion, whether or not they've had any preparation. So you'll come, I will offer you the bread only, and then you will head back to your seat. However, we also have an option. You'll head back to your seat going this way. You could also go down the side mini aisle on next to the windows. If you would like to light a candle, we have opened up our space going to our side chapel. And one at a time, or household groups at a time, are welcome to go and light a candle in the chapel and then return to your seat. The last thing I want to remind you of about receiving communion and using the side chapel is that we ask that everyone wear a mask until you get to about this point. I'll be wearing my mask when I'm distributing communion, and we know that you need to eat and you can't eat through your mask, but we ask that you keep it on until you are right up here ready to receive. When I see who has reserved spots for communion, I'll be reaching out to some of you who've been readers at our church or who I think would make good readers to see if you'd be willing to be our reader. Our readers for these services will be leading the psalm and leading the prayers. Those are the two readings you'll do. We ask that you sit with your household, that you keep your mask on the whole time. Luckily, we have this microphone system, and it will help. You still have to speak up a bit. But come, read the lesson, go back to your seat, and then when it's time for the prayers, you'll come right back up and lead the prayers from this place again. The other thing I want to mention is the Tuesday evening readers. We're going to be recording those readers, the prayers, and that psalm that'll be going into our morning prayer video for that week. So make sure you know that and don't volunteer for that reading if you feel really uncomfortable with that situation. Lastly, I want to say that I am so grateful for the opportunity and bravery to be able to resume in-person communion here at Christ Church. I do want to add a note of caution that we've added over and over again. If the people that love you the most or your physician feel that you should not come to in-person worship, please stay at home, be in contact with us. I can make home communion visits. We'll continue to have our morning prayer video as the heart of our worship together. And then lastly, while you're here, we encourage you in the name of Christ, in the name of your baptismal promises, to love each other and to love God with your whole heart and love all your neighbors as much as God loves you and love yourself as much as God loves you, to wear your masks while you're here. Wear them over your nose and your mouth, to wash your hands as you're going in, and to really do that and offer it as a prayer to God to prepare yourself for this time together, and that you follow the markers for where we stand and where we sit and all of the unusual precautions that we're taking to minimize the risk of illness being transferred while we're seeking to restore Holy Communion to Christ Church. I love you. I miss you. I look forward to seeing some of you in the next couple of weeks, and stay well.